Okay, so we're recording. The whole reason I wanted to get together this week before the craziness of leadership and me being gone and not having any time um, was because I really wanted to, for one, just kind of set some expectations, talk about what the purpose of the group is. I added you all to this thread last week, asked you to share your goals, and really left it at that. And kind of left it open. And what's been really cool is to see all of you guys coming into that thread, sharing some of your conversations, sharing some of your invites, talking about your struggles, sharing the things that are going well for you or that you're wanting help with. That is what this is really all about. And so, for one, I'm super proud of you guys because I know it can sometimes be hard. And I'm going to call her out, but not in a mean way. But I know for Erin, for example, that probably was kind of hard for Erin to come into the thread and say, you guys, I don't really know how to come back from not being all in. And I know she wants to be all in, and I know her commitment, but to come and say that to you guys, I think is really brave and really cool, and shows me that she's here for the right reasons, and that's for herself and for her family's life and for the goals that she's set. That is kind of this theme that I've been really feeling drawn to and wanting to share with you guys, is that feeling of being brave, being vulnerable, sharing the things that are on your heart, even when it just comes to you in the shower. Like, you might not want to film yourself in the shower, but right after you get dressed, or write it down. And so, one of the things that I like to do, right when I think of something, is I'll get in my notes. You guys know I'm obsessed with my notes. Brody, hi. And I will write down all of the thoughts that I'm having. I have a note that's titled top potential topics, or topics, I can't remember, something like that. And I just write down a one-liner, or I'll write down, I'll pull over and I'll write down all these thoughts that I'm having, of things that I really care about and really want to talk about. I know I've had this conversation, and Sherry's not even in this group, but with Sherry, because she's really struggling to know what to share. And when we did that 7 levels deep call, I got on a Zoom with her, and we were talking about her 7 levels and uncovered some things that are really personal to her and why she's a coach. And she started to realize that this whole time she's really been just so surface level. And if you can imagine, there's just so many people. I'm actually listening to Kendra Hall's book, Stories That Stick. If you guys have been listening to that at all, or reading it, maybe you're a reader. So I just feel like I can never sit and read. So I listen to everything in the shower. And today I've been doing laundry like crazy. And so I've been listening to her book all day long. And I'm on the chapter where she talks about, I just finished the founder's story chapter. And I really love that because it helps you to know how to share your story more than what the surface level is of your story. Not just the building blocks, but the actual purpose behind it. Okay. So if you haven't read that book, I think it would be really transformative for all of us to read together and to start shifting the way we're talking about our journey and our purpose here as coaches. Yes, it's so good, Allie. Huh? I think I remember you saying you got that book, which is why I ended up getting it. I was kind of skeptical of it at first. I will be honest. I don't know why, but I was like this, I don't know if it's going to be good. I loved her at Summit, but or was it Summit? I think it was. No, it was at Leadership last year. She came to Leadership last year, I think. Did you guys know that story? I have to tell you this story because it's kind of crazy, totally off topic. Tara, it's called Stories That Stick. And her name is Kendra, Kindra, Kendra Hall. Yes, she did do a call. So she talked about it there. So Kendra, at Leadership last year, they always have this the speaker come in at Leadership, kind of like a keynote. And I'm pretty sure it was at Leadership. If I'm wrong, maybe it was Summit, I don't know. But this guy came in, and he was supposed to be the keynote speaker. Like, he was the main event. We had this elite mastermind, and he came in and was supposed to speak at this elite mastermind, and literally was the worst public speaker I've ever heard in my life. I was like trying not to fall asleep. He had no point to he was just basically like chatting, but like not telling anything, talking about how his dad wasn't proud of him, but didn't have a point to it. So we're all sitting there like, what is the point of this? You know, like maybe he'll get to it. And then he closes. And we're like, oh my gosh, this was terrible and such a waste of my 2 hours. Literally talked for 2 hours about nothing. The Beachbody corporate fired him like before he left the room. Said, you're not speaking in front of everyone. It must have been Summit or something. It was like a main event. It was like the elite event before the main event. I can't remember. So they called up Kendra literally the day before she was supposed to present, flew her out from New York or wherever she lived then. Maybe it was Boston or something. They flew her out and she presented the very next day. It was so cool. And she did amazing, obviously, because everyone loves her in the Beachbody world now. But that, I don't know why I wasn't sure about the book, but I will say now that I'm listening to it, there is so much very tangible content that you can apply right now. Like, it's actual application tools. Like, she'll give you examples and say, okay, so if this is your story, this is how you want to tell it. And I love that, because I think so often we know like the parts, but we don't know how to present it. And she really shares how to present like your story. And there's 4 different ways to tell a story. And so she goes through all the different ways. So I've only gone through 2 ways so far. I think I'm on the 3rd. But yeah, it's amazing. Highly, highly recommend it. So I don't even know what I was talking about before then, but I think it was that one of the things she shares is that you really have to get vulnerable. And a lot of the companies she's worked with who do not want to share the story end up crumbling and end up not necessarily making it, because they want it to be about the product when it's not about the product at all, and it's about the person that will use your product. And that's something that we as people, we as coaches, have to focus on when we're writing and crafting our story, is think about that person who's going to relate to you. Think about that person whose life is going to be changed by the product, not the product itself. And I know sometimes in my stories, I like to list like everything that they're going to get out of it and all these amazing things, rather than the testimonials, rather than showing the actual people and telling their story and telling how it impacted their life. And I think that's so much more powerful. So that's something I'm going to work to do a little bit better and be better at. Okay, so some of the expectations of the group. Obviously, I don't expect you guys to get on every single call. I would like for you to be on every single call, but I'm not gonna, I know, for one, life happens. I know that we all have children, we all have jobs, we all have different things. I'm gonna try and just be more accommodating. I don't wanna have a set time every single week, unless you guys think that would be best. I want this group to be for you. So I want you guys to set the time. I want you guys as a collective group to set those expectations, and I'll be the one to hold you guys accountable to that. So what I want to do now, and you guys can either unmute yourself or you can just start typing in the chat, and I'm going to write these down. What are the things that you guys feel you need the most accountability with, or the most help with? So it could be a topic, or it could be doing live power hours every week together, or sharing, or helping you invite to coaching, whatever it is. It doesn't, think about in your business, what are the things that you feel like you need more mentorship on? Okay, good. So power hours. And can you, Tara, do you mind being tell me more specifically, is it the time getting to your power hour, or is it knowing what to do in the power hour? Inviting. And is that inviting in general, or is that inviting to coaching, or inviting to a challenge group, or inviting in stories? Or tell me more specifically what you need the most help with. Okay, a live power hour. I like that. And these would obviously, I mean, all of this, you guys, it's optional. This is not a required group. I will say that this is a special group. It's unique. You guys were handpicked by your coach, so don't go tell anyone. I mean, you can, but they'll be pissed at me. I literally looked through your guys' goals that you wrote in the team page. For one, you saw it, so I know you're engaged and you're active in the group and in the team. Number two, I know you guys each individually, and I talk to you all individually, so I know where your heart is. And three, I wanted to know what your vision was, and everyone on this, at least that I handpicked, every single one of you were stretching yourself. It wasn't like an easy goal that you wrote down. It wasn't like I'm going to be Emerald in 30 days or whatever. It was a stretch goal. And I saw that as someone that I want to work with. Okay. So just know, like, this is not a group that everyone has the chance to be a part of. And it's kind of unique in that I've never done this before. And you guys are going to get a lot of one-on-one attention. I had ideas of doing one-on-one calls each week. I've already talked with Jeff and told him what I'm doing, and he knows I'm going to need more support because I want more time with you guys. And if that means at night, that means at night. It doesn't matter to me when it is. I want to be available to you. So whenever works best for you, you will have the opportunity to meet with me personally. We can craft invites together. We can do a live power hour together. Like, whatever you need, I'm here for you. Okay. Okay. So I'm writing all these things down. Hold on. Coaching posts. So, like sharing your story, kind of. Is that what you mean, Kristen? I'm looking at you, so you can nod or you can unmute. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, just ways to like easily talk about, like, to bring up coaching without just saying.
So how to breadcrumb, kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can talk. That's great. Okay, so recruiting. Let's see, the tasks and to do and the time management with them. Okay. I like that. Okay, let's see. Kim said the same thing, time management. What to say with inviting. I'm writing these down so I know specifically. How to make it normal. That's cute. I know, I was actually speaking on a team call last week, and that was one of the things that I shared. I feel like a lot of coaches try to sound robotic, thinking that that's what sounds normal. When really, sounding normal, I lately have liked to pretend like I'm talking to my mom, because that's, I think, the person I talk the most like myself with. And so if I get someone who says like, yeah, that would be cool, I want more info, then I'll try and voice message them and speak to them like I would speak to my mom if she was like, tell me about this group or tell me about this program. And then you speak more like yourself. You speak more naturally. You use more of the slang words that you're familiar with in your own vocabulary. So, yeah. Ooh, onboarding. That's a good question. Yeah, because my onboarding recently changed. I need to update all my docs in the team page. Okay, I feel like I have celery in my teeth. You say, when are you talking about? You and, nope, I mean like you and like you, Allie. That, so like a one-on-one specifically, not like 1 on 12 or whatever. 15, 14. Okay. So what I think I will do is I'll make a spreadsheet of times that I know I for sure have available. Obviously, this week is probably not going to work. I probably could meet with a few on Wednesday because we don't have anything until like 7 that night. And I think I get in to Scottsdale at like noon, something like that. So I probably could open up some time. I'll look at my schedule, but I'll do that. I'll put everything on a calendar or on a spreadsheet so that you guys can then go put your names in there. And maybe that would be easiest for you and for me to set some one-on-ones. And I also wanted to get really clear on the time frame of this group. So I got to pull up my calendar and I'll look at my Rise Up calendar on my other desk. Okay. So it's the 14th today. And let's see. I think it's the last 6 weeks start on the 5th. Is that right, Jer? Or wait, the 7th? Oh, wait, it's the week after that. So the 14th. Okay, so let's do this group for, let's see, so 1, 2, 3. We'll do like 4 weeks, okay? I think that's a long time. But I also, I feel like we'll be working together all year, but all the rest of the year. Oh, well, we said the last 90 days, right? I guess it's like the last 80 days now. She's not home, is she? Okay, put him in his kennel or just let him stay in here, but close that door. Hi, buddy. Okay, sorry. I love you too. We'll just go through the end of the year. However, it will get challenging like during Christmas and Thanksgiving, but we'll just work around that. Okay. Does that sound good to everyone? Okay. So one of the things that I did with Jerica's team earlier, if you guys saw my comment, I don't even know what to call that, my message in there, if you're like, what the heck is she talking about, is I went into her team page. Did you guys know Jerica has basically hit elite? The only thing she needs are her diamonds, her 5 diamonds to hold all together. That is insanely awesome. And like, that's something I never did in my first 2 years in the business. And I think it's so cool in something that, like, if you're on her team, you really need to rally the team together because, and I said this on her call, but it's not something that any one person can do alone or achieve alone. All of those points are earned by each of you. Like, that's pretty cool. And so it really is ultimately up to the team and not up to Jerica. She's done like half of the part. She's got Justin, obviously, and she'll have her second CBC. So we need the rest of the team to rally together and hold those diamonds strong. So that means like going all in, doing everything you possibly can. Kona, no, don't chew on my wood desk, you little turd. Doing everything you possibly can right now with your team. And if that means like you getting with another girl who you know it plays a really big role and being her accountability and being like her sister and helping her and taking care of her and like holding her under her wing. This is like super important to me that I help you guys understand how cool it is to help someone do something big. And I'm not talking about Jerica. I'm talking about the women on your team. When I played high school volleyball, I feel like I'm like on Napoleon Dynamite. Like back in the day, I could throw it over the fence. But honestly, I remember I was pretty I wasn't like pretty good, but I was really tall in my freshman year. And so they took me on the high school team. That was freaking scary because for one, they've never taken a freshman before. So they made sure I knew like what a responsibility that was. And then they like assigned a few girls to like take me under their wing. And I cannot tell you what a blessing that was because for one, I felt very scared. And I kind of feel like that's how all the new coaches feel when they join a team. They feel nervous. They're like, oh my gosh, all these girls have all these friends and they're like, they all know each other and I don't know any of them and they all have this bond and I don't have that bond. And so they kind of like step back and they sit in the corner and watch and hope that someone reaches out to them. That's where we need to play a bigger role in seeing the new coaches and extending a hand to them or taking them under our wing. And of course, like their mentor does that, but it is so, so crucial that they feel welcome and that they feel a part of the community because that's the coolest part. And that's also one of the, like why it is so important. We all get on team calls and we all are there rallying together. Even if the team call sucks, like that doesn't matter. What matters is that we're together and that we're like doing something big together and having fun. You know what I mean? So I don't know if any of you are feeling that way, if you're feeling left out or if you're feeling like you haven't made those friendships, like reach out to me or tell me, because if I don't know, I can't help you and I can't get you involved in bigger ways. Sometimes like, for example, I was that coach. Like my first year, I literally didn't know anyone on the team. Like for an entire year, I didn't have any friends. I never had a success partner. And then at about a year, literally when I was thinking about quitting and I was making like okay money, I went on that Success Club trip and I met some of the girls. And that was when Cozy and I became really good friends. And she literally saved me. And that was when we both started taking off in the business. And I really think, and we never worked together. Like we never ran groups together. We never like barely. I think we did a couple of sneak peeks together like a year later. Excuse me. But I really want to encourage you guys, find a success partner. And if you don't have someone that you're connected with or even just like shooting ideas off of or just a friend that you can text and be like, holy freaking crap, it's October 14th and I haven't hit Success Club, like breathe some belief into me. You know what I mean? Like you need that person who can be that support for you or who can help you feel like it's okay when you're feeling like you're struggling. Okay? Yeah, don't team up with someone who sucks at the business. No, I'm just kidding. That's mean to say, but I can say that to you guys. Don't team up with someone who's struggling in the same areas as you are. Team up with someone who you want to be like someone you aspire to work with or to be where they're at, you know, and just ask them to do something simple with like, hey, can I like jump on a power hour with you because you're killing it and I want to kill it and I'd like to see how you do yours. Or could we run a sneak peek together? I'm looking for a coach who is killing it to do the sneak peek with so I can get better at it. Like that's brave and that's scary, but I promise you it will help you grow. If I know that some of you have read this book because I talked about it, but there's a book that helped me to do this in my life, and it's called 6 Months to Six Figures. It sounds like super all about the money, but it's not. It's actually all about the people. So I really encourage you, if you've never read that book, so those two, Stories That Stick and 6 Months to Six Figures, super, super inspirational. I went through my downline today, you guys, to see where each of you guys are at. I know that might sound creepy, but it's not. I do it every single week so that I know what support you guys need. And if you need an Emerald Dash or if you need like support in any way or whatever. And it is like mind blowing to me how close you guys are to that next rank or to that next level in your business. Like, it's absolutely insane. And if I was that close, you better believe I would be busting my butt to get there. I would be working so hard because once you get there, then you're just working hard to that next level. And it's just going, that momentum is going to build. But if you keep replacing these people that are discounters or that are quitting or whatever, that can get very exhausting. You feel like you're on a hamster wheel, right? So you've got to push that much harder. You've got to 10x everything and really go all in, and know that even when it feels like you're not going anywhere, you are. Okay, even when it feels like a hamster wheel, because I've been on that wheel. I've been that person who feels like they're just like running nowhere. I promise you, all your efforts will pay off, but you have to keep going. You have to stay consistent to see the payoff. Most people stop trying when it gets hard, and you have to just keep pushing even when it is hard. Okay. All right. I want to give you guys a chance to ask questions if you have them. Oh, and then I don't think I ever said anything about my expectations, but in the thread, I expect you guys to show up. That's the most important place I expect you to show up. If you can't make it on a call or whatever, like this one's kind of important because it was the kickoff call, but if you can't make it on a call because life happens or because you've got to work or whatever, like, I'm not going to be mad at you. This is your opportunity and it's your choice to run with it or not. Okay, I'm not going to force you guys to do anything, but it is, you know, you're lucky to be in the thread, so take advantage of it. Don't take it for granted, and know that we really are here to give you guys every ounce that we have to help you succeed. Okay? All right, does anyone have questions or anything? I'm writing down notes. Okay. Anything? It's fine if you don't. I just want to, I'm a teacher, so I like to like wait like 10 seconds. It's always awkward silence.
Okay, I need help. I don't know where I need help. I need help figuring out where my priorities need to be right now, because my time is like super limited all of a sudden. Like my life just got really crazy busy, so I need to be more intentional with my time, and I'm having a hard time figuring out like exactly the steps that, like, I feel overwhelmed.
Okay.
With.
This is good, and I'm so glad you unmuted. Okay, so what is the hardest thing for you to do every day? Like, can you always find time to work out, or like, what are the easy things and what are this really?
Last week has been crazy with working out, but I've still posted. Like, I'm still really good about posting in my stories, if it's, you know, even if it's just something about the business or drinking my shake or whatever. So I'm fine with that, and working out. But mostly it's inviting. I still invite, but I know I need to invite more. My stories have grown, like my followers have grown a ton. So that's good.
What are you doing? Because mine are not growing.
I don't know. All of a sudden, like, I've gone from like 50 to 75 to like 200 and something.
Oh, that's killer. Like doubled.
So I don't know what it is, but I know I need to take advantage of it. So so I'm trying to invite more in my stories, but I feel like, I don't know, like retaining, that's like you were saying, I'm on the hamster wheel. I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always scared that someone else is going to fall off, and I don't have anybody that's really, like, they say they want to build, but they're not, like, I don't know, not building.
Are they plugged into like the team?
Yeah.
So they, like, right away, they feel like they know people, they feel like they're connected, and then
they don't talk, but they're plugged in. So there's a couple that interact in the team page or in the team thread, but not the rest of them just watch.
Yeah. So I think that's the big thing is they're those people I was talking about. They're the ones that come in and they're like, oh, everyone already knows each other. And like, where do I fit into this? You know?
So do I start? I've been thinking that I need to reach out one-on-one more, and I do that some, and I check in with them. But I feel like maybe I need to be more motivating in
I
that
think
way.
just like when you have multiple of them, team them up together. Be like, hey, this is, I mean, I was going to say Sarah because you have like 5 Sarahs on your team. This is Jane, and she is a brand new coach, and she's also like really wanting to grow. And I know that you guys have similar goals. So I just wanted to introduce you guys. I don't know if you do the same thing. I send like a questionnaire. So they send me kind of like, what are your goals with this? So I know
That's one thing.
literally from the beginning, like what they want. And then I can kind of help them meet others that have similar goals as them.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that I need to prioritize is what documents. The wake up call was really good. I got some good little tidbits off of that.
So good.
Really good. And I love that she's running her new coach onboarding through the tracker. I didn't.
So smart.
So I'm thinking, because I do feel like I want to plug them in, but I feel like they get overwhelmed right away. So that's what the thing that I feel like I need to fine tune is give them little bits and put them through the new coach university, and that's it.
Well, did you change to like the new one?
Yeah.
Because it's 22 minutes. Like if they're overwhelmed with 22 minutes,
No.
they're not cut out for this.
So maybe I should I go back through then and send the new or my coaches that were plugged into the old one into the new one then that haven't gone through?
What I have done is I've sent each of them a message, like girls that I know that they were in this and they're still signed up. They're just kind of like not involved. And I sent every single one of them a message that said, hey, I know you've kind of been like not involved lately, but I wanted to reach out because I have a new training. It's shorter, it's more specific, it's more actionable, and it's less stressful, and it's not as long. So I thought maybe if you felt overwhelmed and that's what made you like step away a little bit, I think this would be a good way to get back into it if that's something that you want to do. And almost every single one of them said yes. And that's also a really great way to get them feeling like they're more involved in the community. And you can say, hey, and I even started a new thread with lots of those coaches because I was getting honestly ticked off at my coach thread. And it was like, because I scroll through it and it's like, Melissa. One person says, cool, thanks. Melissa. Like, I was the only one talking in there. And I said, you guys, I feel like I'm talking to myself. And I feel it feels rude. And I feel like I'm trying to help you guys, but no one wants the help. So I need to know like who's in and who's not and who wants my support and who doesn't. Erin knows. I think Erin's in there and she probably saw my message. But I was like, you guys, I feel like I'm talking to myself. This is not fun. And honestly, so I even sent a couple of those girls messages privately and I just said, are you actually going to coach? Not in a mean way. I mean, I can read it to you, but I was just like, is this actually something you want to do? Because I can totally remove you from that thread because I don't want to be rude or annoying if you're not even like going to be doing this. And both of them were like, actually, like I really read through them, I promise. And it's really inspiring and it helps me. And in my mind, I'm like, hardest eye roll ever. But I have to give them like the benefit of the doubt that maybe one day it will click. You know what I mean? And these are girls that literally have never said a word in there. So it's obviously no one in here. But just, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, sorry. It's just basically, you have to know what their purpose is and why they're there and help them, like ask them why they went quiet, or really get real with them and just say like, do you want this? Because I want to help you if you do. I want to help you be successful if you want this. But not drinking your Shakeology, not working out, not checking in the challenge group, not being present in the team page, not being on the team calls, like that stuff is not going to help you be successful. I can show you what will, but I need to know like if that's what you want, because I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to bug you, you know, if that's not what you want. So you just kind of have to have like a real heart to heart. Do you think that would be good? Like, do you think they would respond well to that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely need to just reach out. And I feel like when I reach out in the actual thread, they don't say anything.
Oh,
like they're embarrassed to say something. But if I reach out individually,
right back. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm private messaging.
I'll have like 1 or 2 people say something. But if I contact them individually and ask them questions, then it definitely, I get more response. So I just need to reach out. I know I need to go through and just have that on my schedule that I'm going through and contacting each person individually.
Yeah.
And probably with like a video or voice message, because I feel like that is more.
It is more personal. I mean,
personal.
Okay, that's good. So with time management, like what I was getting at when I was asking you, like, what are the hardest things for you to do? That's something that I struggled with too. For a really long time, I never invited, ever. And I would barely hit SC5, literally like my first year and a half, and maybe even 2 years. And it was just this complex I had for whatever reason. It was really hard for me to get over like the weirdness of inviting until I shifted my mindset about it and did it in a way that was more natural for me. I've seen people inviting using GIFs, like, is it GIFs or GIFs, whatever. They'll use like the Ryan, what's that guy the guy that everyone like is obsessed with, and they'll write this, you can like make your own meme or whatever, and it'll be like, hey girl, I really think you should join Melissa's boot camp, like whatever, like making it, if you're really sarcastic and fun, like making it like you would normally, another one they did is like using a GIF, and I can't even remember, it was super funny, but just making it more like casual and fun and like aligned to who you are. And when you start talking like yourself and sharing like yourself and then inviting like yourself, it becomes more natural. And then also one of the things that I've noticed is giving people free things when they say no, or like, no thanks, I'm not interested. I've had such an incredible response from that like literally like the next month when I talk about my next boot camp, they're the ones sending me messages back because when they tried the workout and loved it, they felt like I wasn't just trying to sell them something that month, and they feel like, okay, this actually looks really cool and like something I enjoy doing. And then they're the ones reaching out to me the next month. Okay. Yeah. So it's just really nice to give more and not expect anything in return,
I started doing that, giving that when you were talking about sending the message after they say not right now or whatever, and sending them the free workout. And that has been, I haven't had anybody yet that has come back, but I just started doing it like this month. And,
give it a few months.
I've gotten so many good, like thank you so much. Like you can tell that people they don't think that you're just in it for, you know, to get them or whatever, like they understand that we're here to help, not just to sell you something,
Yeah. And I would say also, like, if you struggle with inviting, that should be the very first thing you do every day. That's the thing, that's the habit I've gotten into, so that like I can't even, like, while I'm drinking my Energize, I send out all my invites. And I just go to like the very first story from the previous day and I scroll to like the very bottom because it's like all the people at the top are like people you already talked to. So I just scroll to the very bottom, and then I start from the bottom and work my way up.
So I have a question about that. So do you actually go through, like, because I have a hard time remembering like who's a coach or who's not.
Oh,
So do you actually
I
go to
click
their
on
page?
their name. I don't send when I'm doing invites. I don't send from the arrow like on that list, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I
You go to
their
their page.
name, go to the message because I want to see if we've had a conversation before. And yeah, and then it's also nice because then I can do all my follow-ups at the same time. Because a lot of the times I've invited them before, we've had a conversation, and so those follow-ups happen naturally.
Same.
Yeah, so a lot of my coach invites come from my challengers. That I invite those first to coaching, and then I also like people I know or people I've been following for a while or people who I've been talking to. Those are the other people I invite to coaching. You need ideas on who?
So on when I like will go into my stories and go down the downline of invites, I have people that are like 25,000 followers or more. And then like if I message them, I get nothing. And then like
They watch your stories?
yeah, they watch all my stories almost every day, but I don't know. I think I don't even know what to
Make
even
it funny
like,
and
send
just be like,
invites.
girl, I see you watching my stories. Like I know you see me. I know you're watching. You know, like you can
I think
funny. And like do like those little eyes emoji. I see you.
I get a lot of those too, and I think a lot of them, like probably my bottom 50 to 60 viewers every single day are accounts like that, and I'm pretty sure it's something who's using a bot or something to follow.
Yep. That's what I was gonna say.
Right, those people. Because
No.
it's like other.
They're just trying to get you to follow them.
It's
Another thing I've done like in the past month, if you struggle with inviting, hire an assistant, and it might feel like an investment right now, but like my assistant sends all my invites. So it's not even a thought for me. I send her what to say, and I give her like 4 different invites every month, but she sends them every single morning, like right when she wakes up, and they're all done every single day. And then any extras that I send are just like extra and it's a bonus, right? So that's also a really good idea if that's something you struggle with. $10 an hour is what I pay her. So she works like 5 hours a week, so like $50 the whole week. And she does all my leaderboards, she does everything. And that's the only time it takes. Because for her, it's not, there's no emotional attachment, you know? So she can whip through those invites in like 10 minutes. And then she does all the leaderboards, and then she does the other stuff that I'm having her do. But yeah, so if you need more time in your day and you can handle, like even if you did like 2 hours a week, that's only $20, you know?
Melissa
Was a coach, but she's not anymore, and she's a mom. So we're friends. We weren't before this, but she knew my cousin growing up, so she kind of knows me, and we've hung out since then. But
Melissa, I was gonna say too, I think it was Kasia who talked about this at the retreat. When you're like making connections, because clearly you should be doing that before you're inviting, she said go to stories because they're more personal. Scroll way down on your stories because you don't see those as often. Watch people's stories and comment on their stories because it goes right to their messages.
Yeah.
More personal, and I just feel like you're connecting with them easier, and then they should be coming up further on your stories list. So I think that's a good way to start conversations.
It's so awesome. That's what I like to do too. I always scroll to like the very end. So Nikki, she always sends 30 in the morning. So any more comes from me. Or I'll tell her to do more, but I usually do the extras. That's awesome, Tiff. Oh, so she just only does that initial invite and I do all the touches after that. If that makes sense. So she's not like talking to my people. I'm talking to them. She just always does that initial touch. So the first invite. Or, and then what's nice too is when she sees like someone who I was talking to like a couple days ago or whatever, or like if there was a message, my Instagram sometimes doesn't show me messages. It's weird. So she'll screenshot them like as she's going through and inviting, and she'll just send them to me in Facebook. And so then I know who to go search for and go reach out to. So yeah. That's awesome, Sarah. I do give her my password to get into my account. She's in Utah though, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not. But she is in my same state. So I found her, she was on my team like from the beginning. She's been on my team for a while, and she did okay, but she never really grew. And I asked my team early on, like she's been my assistant for like 3 years, I think. I asked them, you know, if anyone wanted to earn some extra money, and she reached out, and I kind of knew that she was really responsible. She's really organized and someone that I would trust. I think it's important if you're going to give passwords to your accounts, or like she goes into my back office and things like that, that you trust them. Otherwise, I would run if it wasn't her, if I ever have to change, because I'm sure one day she'll probably leave me, I will probably run the reports and send them to my assistant, and then have them do the leaderboards and things from there. But yeah, on Instagram, she just has my password. I think you would have to do that with any assistant who is working on your Instagram. But yeah, those are good questions. Okay, anything else? I think I answered all of those. Okay, so I don't know what time we'll meet or what day next week, but we can kind of chat about it as it gets closer. In the threads though, I want you guys to keep those conversations coming. Like if you have questions, or if you're sending an invite, or if there's a conversation you're having and you're not sure where to go with it, or if like you have someone who's interested, or whatever it might be, if you need help with wording or with your conversations, just send us a screenshot of it, okay? And then we can help you to craft that reply. Or if you need help writing a caption or whatever. I just think the more we work together, the better we'll all do. And I'm just super excited. I think we have a really, really awesome group. And it's so cute. You can finish it in a minute. I think the more we do together, anyway, I'm just super pumped. So I hope you guys are all excited, and just know how much how highly I think of each of you, and how much I want this for you guys. And that's really why I wanted to do something like this with you. So if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and just know that like we're always here for you. So, okay. I love you guys. And thanks for getting on. And I know that was kind of long, but it was good to at least hear some of the things you guys are struggling with. And one thing, tomorrow night, Amy is doing a live power hour. I never got the graphics set up because I was at my parents' super late last night, but I'll do that before I go to bed tonight. So tomorrow, I think it's at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Who's in that thread? Jerica, do you remember what she said? Anyway, I think it's at 7 p.m. So if you can get on, great. If you can't, like, honestly, one of the things I love and that I've seen, and I'm in a few other coaches' team pages, is lots of the girls, when they're about to do a power hour, they'll just say, hey, I'm about to do my power hour if you want to get on with me, or I'm about to work for about 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. If you want to get on with me, here's my Zoom link, and let's work together. And it's not even that you're like talking through it or whatever. It's just being on there and knowing you're like working hard on a goal together, you know? So that would be kind of cool if you guys are ever like gonna sit down and do some work, throw down your Zoom link, and so we can all jump on and just work together. So I'll try and do that more too, and create that FOMO, you know, like that's what people want to see. They want to feel connected and united. And if we show on our social medias that we're working with a team and that we've got our girlfriends that we're all connected with and that we're hustling together and that we're doing big things, like that's, I think, a big deal. It just makes, oh yeah, take a pic. Thanks, Jer. Let's see Rowan's little white bum in the pic. Just kidding. But I think that creates a sense of urgency for people who are like, that's what I want. Like, that's what I need. I need friends. I need a community. I need people in my life to buoy me up when it's hard. You know, like that's what we all crave. That's part of human nature. So if you're wanting that, if you're wanting to attract that into your business, create that opportunity for yourself, you know? Okay, so we do need to take a picture. I'm always the worst at remembering. I'm so glad Jerica said that. Okay, so Libby, do you want to get in the picture? Yeah. Okay, come here. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3. Here, I'm gonna do it from the side so I don't have a shadow on our face. You gotta squeeze in by me. Okay. 1, 2. Oh no. Okay, I'll send these to you guys, and hopefully someone else maybe took some too and got a better one than I did. But yeah, it's a big part of what we do. And I know, like, I love our community, but I know sometimes we feel disconnected, and that's not what it should feel like. You should feel like you're part of a family. And that's what I want you guys to feel. And so that's really what I'm working to create on our team. And if there's anything I can do better, I hope you guys know you can talk to me and tell me. And I kind of, I knew I was kind of, you know, not being that way. And so that's why I'm trying to change. Anyway.
Hey, Melissa.
Yes.
Will you, this is off topic, but when you sent that struggle web thing to us, will you send that in the group? Because that has been like super helpful for me. Like when I don't know what to post, I'm like, okay, I'm going to the struggle web to like.
I think I posted it actually. I know you were added late. So I'm not sure if you would be able to see the messages before you're added.
Okay.
Do you know if you can? You should go look and if
I think I can.
Post them again.
I don't think I scrolled. But I even sent it to like the one coach like I'm really working with. And like today I texted her and I was like, okay, like you post something from your struggle web today. So maybe that could help. But it's really helped me. So
yeah, and Catherine, yeah, that's so awesome, Tiff. And Catherine, it's the one in the back office. So if you go to I think it's just training. Hold on, let me look. If you click on training, yeah, and then getting started, there's 5 videos that cover like all the basics, and it adds up to like 22 minutes or something like that. And it's amazing. And so I'll actually go in there tonight, and I redid my welcome email to direct people to that new training rather than the one on the Thinkific. So I might even like move it to Thinkific, but have those videos on there instead. So create like a new training page, or maybe even do it in the challenge tracker, but it's like one more group to do every single month. So I really liked having it on Thinkific. And if you have like a website, actually, I think someone talked about that in the roundtable. They've moved all those videos to their website and just have their coaches go to their website to do those trainings. It's all the same. But yeah, so I haven't been sending my new coaches to the Thinkific training for like the New Coach University. No. I mean, it's only been available for just like 2 weeks. So any new coaches that you get from here on out, I would have them go to the new one in the coach office. It's awesome. If you guys haven't watched it, you need to watch it. Like I said, it's 22 minutes. super solid info, like really specific. And it would be good to know like what your coaches know, your new ones. So, hey you guys, thank you so much for getting on. I hope you have an amazing night, and we'll be chatting more in the thread. So I love you. Reach out to me if you need anything. Bye.